Rise again up arrow, nothing is over. The night was quiet, except for the low hum of traffic rolling down I-95. A single street lamp flickered over a worn-out diner sign, Evelyn's 24/7. Inside, the smell of burnt coffee and frying bacon lingered in the air, and a tired jukebox played an old Springsteen song. At the counter sat Daniel Alvarez, 47 years old, slouched over a cup of black coffee. His hands were calloused, rough from years of construction work, but now they trembled not from fatigue, but from the weight of failure. 3 years ago, Daniel had been the foreman of a rising construction company in Philadelphia. He built houses for people chasing their American dream, even saved enough to buy one for his wife and teenage daughter. But a single mistake, a scaffolding collapse that killed a young worker, destroyed everything. The lawsuits came. The company folded. His marriage cracked under the pressure. His wife left with their daughter, and Daniel spiraled into a haze of whiskey and regret. Tonight, he was one decision away from ending it all. "You want a refill?" Han asked Evelyn, the diner's owner, a 60-year-old woman with kind eyes. Daniel forced a smile. "Sure. Why not?" But when she turned, his hand reached inside his jacket, brushing against the cold steel of a revolver. He whispered to himself, "Nothing left. Nothing to fight for." The bell over the door jingled. A man walked in, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a dark hoodie, damp from the drizzle outside. He carried no umbrella, just a weary look. He scanned the diner, then slid into the booth behind Daniel. Something about him felt heavy, dangerous. Minutes later, as Evelyn refilled Daniel's cup, the man spoke. "Long day." Daniel looked back. "The longest. And you?" The stranger smirked. "Every day's long when you owe people money." A pause. Then he leaned forward. "Name's Marcus." They talked. Hesitant at first, then easier, like two men circling the same pit of regret. Marcus confessed he used to box. Promising career, big sponsors, until an injury killed his shot at the championship. After that, he gambled. Got in deep with the wrong crowd. Now, he was running out of time to pay them back. Daniel listened, almost forgetting his own plan. "You know what the worst part is?" Marcus said, voice cracking. "My little boy. He thinks I'm still fighting, still a hero. He doesn't know his dad's a loser." Something inside Daniel shifted. The word loser echoed. He called himself that too many times. But hearing it from Marcus made him realize it wasn't true. Not yet. Before Daniel could reply, the diner door burst open. Two men stormed in, faces hard, eyes sharp. "Marcus," one growled. "Time's up." The diner froze. Evelyn stepped back, trembling. Marcus stood, fists clenched, but Daniel noticed the way his hand shook. He wasn't a fighter anymore. The taller thug shoved Marcus against the booth. "You got the money?" Marcus shook his head. Silence. Daniel's chest tightened. He should be stayed out. None of this was his fight. But something about Marcus, the son he mentioned, the broken pride, dragged Daniel to his feet. "Hey!" Daniel's voice cracked like a gunshot. "Leave him alone." The men turned, sneering. "And who the hell are you?" Daniel's hand brushed the revolver in his jacket. For a second, he thought of pulling it. But another thought hit harder. If he fired, if he killed, there'd be no turning back. His daughter would remember him as nothing but violence. So instead, he balled his fists. I'm someone who's tired of watching men stay down. The fight was messy. Daniel wasn't young anymore, but he had grit. He threw himself at the first man, ramming him into the counter. Plates shattered, coffee spilled like blood. Marcus swung at the second, landing a clumsy but desperate punch. It wasn't pretty. Daniel took hits, his ribs screaming, lips splitting open. But he refused to stay down. Each time he fell, he rose again. Again. And again. Finally, with one last surge, Marcus slammed a chair across the thug's back. They stumbled out, cursing, promising they'd be back. The diner fell into silence, broken only by Evelyn's shaking breath. Daniel wiped blood from his mouth. Marcus stared at him, stunned. "Why do you do that?" Daniel sank onto a stool, chest heaving. "Because I was about to end my story tonight. And maybe I needed a reason not to." Marcus sat beside him, eyes wet. "You just gave me mine." The sirens came quick. Evelyn had called. The cops arrived, took statements, promised protection. The thugs had records, they'd be tracked. By dawn, Daniel walked out of the diner with Marcus. The drizzle had stopped. The city smelled of rain and possibility. "Where you headed now?" Marcus asked. Daniel looked east, toward the rising sun. "To find my daughter. To tell her her father's not finished yet." Marcus smiled faintly. "And I'll find a way to pay my debts without destroying myself. Maybe even get back in the ring not to win, but to show my boy I can still fight." They shook hands, two broken men, standing on the edge of redemption. Hours later, Daniel stood outside a modest row house in South Philly. His hand trembled as he knocked. The door opened. His daughter, 15 now, stood there, older, cautious. Behind her, his ex-wife appeared, wary. Daniel's throat tightened. "I don't deserve it. But I need to try again. I need to rise." For a long moment, silence. Then, slowly, his daughter stepped forward and hugged him. As the sun climbed higher, Daniel whispered the words that had kept him alive: "Nothing is over. Not yet." And for the first time in years, he believed it.